So I haven't been feeling too good. I've been a little bit sick, which is why I haven't uploaded on this channel as much as before. The Geekdom 101 channel, my main channel, my Dragon Ball channel, I've been doing work on there whenever I can, but I've been a little bit sick, so my bad on that one. I feel a little bit better now, so I wanted to go ahead and drop a Speakdom because on my last Speakdom I had a user named Kalen2017, and they asked a very good question that I want to address on the Speakdom, and that is about college dating versus high school dating. Kaylin writes, "Hey Geekdom, did you go to college?" Yes, I did. If so, could you help explain how college dating is different than high school dating? I'm leaving for college in a week, and I want to be prepared. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between college and high school dating. And yes, there are differences, definitely some huge differences. Number one, when it comes to college, a lot of people go to college and they don't live at home. They stay on the premises at a dorm or something like that, away from their parents. That's the first main thing. Most high school kids live with their parents, obviously. You're not going to... There's a few that leave the house young, but not very many of them. So when you're under your parents' roof, you're under their rules and their guidelines. I can't speak for all of you guys, but I was always kind of a shy kid when it came to bringing girls home to mama. Like, you know what I mean? I tried to not bring girls home because I was just... I don't know. I did not feel like mixing my love life with like my parents. It was just me. I know some of you guys feel me on that one. Like, I was so ashamed to talk to my parents about dating because it was so awkward. So when you're in high school, right, you're kind of limited to that. Not to mention that most of us, when we're in high school, we don't have any money. We're borrowing our parents' money. Some of us have jobs, but not everybody has it. And most of us don't have cars and things like that. So you're much more limited to what you can do dating-wise when you are living at home during high school times. And plus, when you're going through high school, you're also going through a lot of mental development as well as physical development. So a lot of times you're not even focused on dating, or you're just very immature and you make mistakes, and you know how it is. College is a different animal because when it comes to college, number one, like I said, you're not under your parents' roof. You have a lot more freedom. You can hang out with who you want to, stay up as late as you want, do whatever you want. But you also have to remember that the difference between college and high school when it comes to education, one of the big differences is that when it comes to college, you are paying for college. Even if you get a grant, college is not public like high school is. So you really, when it comes to college and dating, you got to be careful because you don't want to get wrapped up. You don't want to goof off and mess around with girls or guys if you're a girl, because this video goes to everybody. You don't want to mess around and like date and then have the relationship get in the way of your academics. You want to make sure that your academics, your classes are the number one priority. Don't fail classes over a girl or a guy. Just trust me on this one. So you got to really stay focused on that. High school makes it a little bit easier because it's a social platform. It's really our first true example of mature post-pubescent or post-puberty social atmosphere is what high school is. College is a little bit different because in college, not only is it more important that you do well in your classes, because now we're talking about like real life. You see what I'm saying? High school, you can always get a GED. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I would never encourage someone to drop out of high school, but if you're failing high school, there are programs in the high school that will help you pass. College, there ain't no GED equivalent. You have to get your degree, associates, bachelor's, master's, PhD, whatever the heck you want, even in technical school. You got to get your stuff. So I feel like it's more important to get good grades in college than it is high school. I really do. Even though if you get good grades in high school, you might get into a better college, right? That is important. College is more of an adult, real deal type thing. And that goes on to point number 2. The other thing you have to be aware of when it comes to college is that you're going to have a huge variety of different ages, races, and cultures. Now, obviously, when you're in high school, most public schools have a variety of different, ethnicities, depending on, of course, where you live. Not every high school is like this, but the age group is usually the same. When you're in high school, it's between the age of 13 and 19. Most of us get into high school when we're 13, and we graduate when we're either 18 or 19. Some get in sooner, some leave sooner. But it's within that same age group, so you're all kind of going through the same hormonal changes and social changes. When it comes to college, though, you've got people in college in your classes that are going to be of all different ages. You're going to have old people there. You're going to have people younger than you. You're going to have people, foreigners from other countries that came to study in that college. So you have to be cognizant of this. You have to really be aware that there are going to be some adults there that aren't going to vibe with you, because of different maturity levels and backgrounds. You might be used to playing video games all day and playing loud music, but if your college roommate's not into that stuff, you have to be respectful of your college roommate. There's a lot of different varieties and factors. College is really a great, great, great example of becoming a man or becoming a woman. When you go to college is when it really hammers home that you are an adult. Like it really, really does. And you have way more responsibility. You don't have your parents on your back most of the time. You don't have teachers chasing after you. See, in high school, teachers are encouraged to chase after you. When you get to college, a lot of teachers, if you fail, brother. It's you. I'm not saying they won't help you, but I'm saying that professors in college are much, much more focused and serious and really want to hammer home the classes and the lessons and whatnot, the knowledge to you. You can't be goofing around. So the thing about dating specifically in college is that you're going to have more opportunities in college because you're going to be more independent and you're going to have people of different age groups. So you will experience a lot of different backgrounds and different philosophies on dating. And it's a lot, to me, it's a big learning experience, and it's also a lot easier, at least for me, because the thing about college, and I'm going to be very blunt when I say this, is when you're in college, if you want to get laid, just go to a party. Like, for real. If you're in college with a bunch of young people, and there are older people there too, if you go to a party, whether you're a boy or a girl, guy or, man or woman, you're going to have people there who are horny, who are going to be, who want to get laid. That's just, I've been there in college campuses. And when you go to these crazy parties, you don't really have to do much. Like, you really don't have to, learn any kind of seductive skills necessarily, all right? At least it's not as hard as you think. Just showing up there, you're going to end up meeting somebody and just talking to them. So it's just a lot easier, but you also have to remember what I told you about earlier in the video, which is the girls in college and the guys in college are much, much more focused on passing. So it just entirely depends on the kind of person that you are. Don't ever lose focus of the fact that you're there to pass. But if you got all your homework done and if you're ready to rock and roll with this and you want to have a little fun, dude, college can be so much fun. Not just because it's not just about the sex. It's more just about just hanging out and meeting people and just having a great time without being under your parents' roof. And I think that's the main thing. You are not being supervised by your parents. So you can be a goofball in college and do wacky stuff and not have to worry about your parents ever seeing it, unless, of course, you do something illegal and get arrested or something like that, which I would highly advise against. College is much more serious. I honestly can tell you that I would not get into a relationship in college in the first maybe 2 or 3 months. Just focus on getting your stuff situated, getting your meeting people, meeting your teachers. I would just focus on that. I wouldn't even think about dating. If something happens, if you meet someone, talk to them, but I would never do anything serious early on. Get a feel for how college life is going to be before you actually start dating. Also, please don't do long distance relationships. At least try not to. If you have a girlfriend in high school, you know what I mean, and you go to college and you go to separate colleges, you can try to work it out. I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to try, but I would advise against meeting somebody on a dating site and they go to a different college and then you're kind of you're stuck with that person with that you have a crush on that you never met before. That's a whole different video, but there are so many people in college, men and women, that finding someone to mess around with or to date is not going to be hard. So just don't get strung up on somebody who isn't even close to you. I would highly advise against that when you're in that situation. Also, back to the original thing I was saying a minute ago, if you are dating somebody in high school and you go to college and you go to separate colleges, expect some change, because they're going to change, you're going to change. It may or may not work out. Just being real with you. I'm being real. Just expect things to be different. And don't let relationships stop you from having a good time at college. Don't let that be the case at all. Get your stuff done. Get it done and understand that you're in college. You're not, 50. Well, you might go to college at 50, but this is mostly for folks that are going into college at a young age. You shouldn't settle down too young. It's not a good idea to do that. It's a good idea to kind of explore the world, especially when you're in college, because that's like your last real chance to really be in a big social environment with so many different cultures before you go into the workplace. And I think that most of us, rather than focusing on love and hookups, should focus on just having a good time, and those things will come. If you want to get laid in college, it really is simple. And I'm not saying you even have to go to those parties. That's an easy way to do it. But also, just being around, like if you're out there and you're a shy guy, right? You're going to be around more girls in college of different age groups, which will give you more experience with how to talk to women, and how to, feel more comfortable around women, especially with the fact that you're going to be dealing with different ethnicities. You can learn kind of what this culture does, what that culture does. And the problem with dating in college is that you get wrapped up in that whole, like, I got into a fight with my girl, I can't focus on my studies, I'm waiting for her to text me back. It's going to end up ruining your life, dude. So I would actually advise against dating in college until you have like until you have like a good idea of how it's going to go as far as like your teachers, the college life, and you're focused on getting your degree, right? I would probably stay away from it, but I would never encourage you not to go around and, if you want to get laid, hey, we're all human beings. We all have desires. Go for it. And I will tell you that it's much easier to get laid in college because a lot of the people in college, not everyone, but a lot of them have already had sex. So that whole anxiety that they have about it is going to be gone, or at least severely diminished. Some of them have not, though. So you're going to have mixes. And that's one other thing I want to say is that if you are a virgin, it's okay to be a virgin through college. Don't ever get peer pressured into having sex with someone you don't want to have sex with, or just to lose your virginity, whether you're a boy or a girl. You don't have to do that. You can just go to college and just study. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. Feel me? No, you should never take peer pressure. It's okay to be a virgin. Don't listen to anyone who tells you otherwise. Bottom line, enjoy your time in college. Don't be forced into dating somebody if you don't want to, but understand that there will be opportunities there and that you're no longer under your parents' roof. So a lot of that awkwardness and a lot of that constriction that you had is going to be gone, but you should not ever let dating or relationships or even getting laid get in the way of you doing what you need to do while you're in college. But hey, if you want to do it, do it. But definitely understand that college dating is way different than high school dating, but in a good way. I think, for me anyways, it was much easier to talk to girls in college than it was in high school. But that's also because I was a little bit older. I was smarter. I personally felt a lot more confident when I got to college, and I think many of you will too. And if not, as you go through college, I think you will develop those social skills and those life skills to where by the time you get out, you're going to be a much better person than you were when you first got in. And that's the beauty of college and high school, is that you will change for the better, hopefully. Anyways, I hope that helped out. Thank you so much for watching the Speakdom, and good luck out there. Just remember, you're there in college to get your degree so that you can get a good job, a better job, not to get laid. But hey, if you want to get laid, it'll probably happen for you in college. I'll tell you that much. All you got to do is put yourself in the right position, talk to people, meet new people, and then go from there. Just enjoy it. Don't overthink it. Enjoy it. I'll see you later.